You guys doing today? Good. Well, I think, the message to the players after the scrimmage was, now's the time to get ready for the season. Every practice is important, every game is important. Got to get ready for the task at hand, develop the right habits. It leads to confidence, it leads to trust, in teammates and togetherness on the team. And it comes from discipline, having the right mindset, having the right mental toughness to be able to sustain so that, you can elevate your game. And instead of somebody else trying to motivate you or something motivating you, how about you just focusing on what you need to do to get better so you can elevate your game without some external factor that, whether, somebody dogs you or whatever. And think it's important that you learn from your mistakes. I think that's the best opportunity you have to learn. And this group's been pretty good about it. This is always a challenging week, but the guys have done a really, really good job the last couple of days. We're working on some issues and problems that, may come up with some of our opponents during the season and probably start on the first game on Friday.
Coach, you've talked about a lot of guys working a lot of spots in the secondary. Just who are some guys that are getting maybe the most reps at star?
Uh, Malachi gets reps at star. Jalen gets reps at star. Um, Earl gets reps at star. So those are probably the three primary guys. We're also training Terrion Arnold, to get some reps at star. So want to have three or four guys that can play it. Um, you don't want to really have an issue when one guy goes down and you got nobody else to play that spot.
What have you seen from Dallas Turner this camp?
Dallas has done great. I mean, he's been a really good leader. He set a good example. He's worked really hard. He's been very productive, and I I think he's just done fantastic for us.
When Burton Burns was coaching your running backs, if I remember right, he philosophically he'd say he liked the backs to just make one cut and then get upfield. If I'm remembering that right, is that something that still gets emphasized in the offense?
Well, I think you want people to run north and south. You want them to get their pads down. Don't want them to dance and hold. But I think runners that are good runners, are instinctive and when they should make cuts, when they should make lateral cuts, when they just need to burst through the hole when they have an opening. And I don't know if you can overcoach that, but if you're going to run the ball effectively, guys got to know when to get their pads down and get north and south so you can have a 4-yard play and not maybe a negative yard play because they're trying to make something where there's nothing. And I really think that, our guys, all four of them, do a really good job of that.
Yes, Coach. I wonder if there's a downside when you have the quarterback position and the players taking a long time to separate themselves and make the decision for you. I guess the way to put it.
Yeah, but that's kind of up to them. Like I said in here before, I told the quarterbacks, I said, quit looking around for me to make a decision about who's going to play. How about you playing good enough that I don't have a choice? That's what you can control. That's what you can do. And somebody needs to do that. And it's sort of, taking shape to some degree, but somebody's got to do it. And, where you all think that, like whoever we name as a starter for the first game, that's like the end of it. It's not the end of it. It's just the beginning. So what if a guy doesn't play good? He's not entitled to keep playing. And the guy that doesn't play is got every opportunity to practice and be more consistent and win the team over so that when he gets an opportunity to play, he plays really well. I mean, we have changed quarterbacks around here a few times during the season. So I know you guys are looking for an end, but it's not even going to be the end in the first game. You're looking at me kind of funny. Am I not explaining that very well?
I didn't explain it very well in my question, I suspect, but I was wondering about
Yeah, I
the
know
time.
what you
The
asked,
time.
and
The
I just
time.
don't want to answer it because
Okay.
we're going to make the best of it for our team, and our team has to make the best of it as well. So, and whoever plays the position, everybody's got to play well around them and do the best job that they can to help them play well.
Coach, where have you seen Tim Keenan make the most progress on the defensive line?
Tim has done a really good job. He lost weight. He got in much better shape. He's moving a lot better. He's a lot quicker. He's always had a lot of explosive power. So he's been a really pleasant surprise in this camp to be a guy that's playing like a starter, actually.
How have you seen the defense progress from the beginning of fall camp to now as a whole?
I mean, I think just about every time something bad happens, and when I say bad happens, I'm talking about an explosive play. It's either about missed tackles or mental errors. And I think we've gotten better at eliminating, some of those. But one of the things I didn't think we did as well in the last scrimmage as the first scrimmage is tackle. And, that goes back to how you practice. We don't really ever and have never practiced where you tackle people in practice, but you have to thud them. All right. So you get in position to tackle the guy, you near leg your shoulder, you wrap the guy up. So you're always in position to tackle. And if you do that consistently, then when you have to tackle people, you're going to be in the right position. And that's something that we really emphasize with our players, this week to try to improve the tackling.
Just how has the transfer portal affected your ability to retain and develop some of the players that you've recruited at wide receiver in particular?
I don't know. I don't know who you're specifically, talking about, but guys are getting transfer portal. This is not for everybody. Okay, so maybe people that want to be here, want to be good, want to do the best they can, develop value for their future and who they are as a person, what kind of requirements we have for them to succeed academically so they can develop a career on the field, and what we're going to do to try to develop them on the field. And I think, I'm not mentioning any names, but there's only like one player that I was really disappointed that, the guy didn't stay here, and I couldn't understand why he was leaving. And, and all the rest of them, they would have contributed if they stayed and had the right attitude, but it's their choice. And, what we have an opportunity to do when guys leave is we have an opportunity to replace them too.
Two more, Austin and then Chuck.
Yeah, Coach, a little different with today being the first day of classes. What do you remember from your first day of school at Kent State?
Nothing. You know how many years ago that was?
1907.
Yeah, well, I will say this about the team. I told them last night, I said, I know tomorrow's your first day of college. I'm talking about everybody. College. You're going to college tomorrow. So most of the time, that really impacts the quality of practice that we have. But that wasn't the case today. They were focused and practiced and they were ready to go. And so, maybe it's online classes. I don't know. But I really don't remember much of anything about, the biggest thing I remember about going to college was the day my parents dropped me off at school and I felt like I was all alone and didn't know anybody in the world, and how difficult it was to sort of develop relationships and get started and figure out how do I fit in here and what do I need to do. So I remember that, but that wasn't the first day of class. And then I remember what happened on May 4th. That's probably the two things I remember the most.
Thanks for your time.
What has Caden Proctor shown you since joining the team, and how much progress has he made?
He's shown me he's big, and he's made a lot of progress. He's improved a lot. He's got a lot of ability, and there's things that he needs to continue to work on. And obviously, experience is going to help him. And when you get experience is a culmination of how do you learn from your mistakes, and that's what experience is. And and he's been pretty good about that. I think Booker playing next to him at left guard has helped him a lot, because it puts a veteran player next to him who gives him a little bit of security and making calls and that type of thing. So that's been a good thing for us.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Is that it? Oh, did I do okay today? I mean, I haven't asked you guys since I had my media training exactly how well I'm doing, so I just thought
Got the report.